This video is part of a series. Complete the previous videos in this playlist before you start this video. The complete playlist information, the material and the code file information is given in the video description below.
So I'm on my N8 and we have created number of workflows. We will create another workflow. Let's call this workflow as MCP Server. The name doesn't matter. You can give any name and we are connecting it to Claude Desktop. In fact, we can connect it to anything. Let's call it as MCP Server. Let me add the tag as Agentic AI course. And then there is a particular node called MCP Server Trigger. MCP Server Trigger. Now you have test URL, you have production URL, and this production URL is your location for the MCP server. Right now in this MCP server, we did not add any tool, but we have the location. Once the location is there, you can keep on adding the tools later on. So once you have this location, this is a server location. Remember, this has to be production URL. Once you have the location URL copied, you go back to your Claude desktop, edit config, go here, and then you must edit this. You have to give the location of the server. You cannot just put the URL like this. You have to write a particular piece of code here saying that my server is here. MCP server is on an N8N. So the exact code that you need to write is this one: MCP servers, N8N, command, args, etc., etc. There is a certain protocol. This particular Claude desktop app will connect to your MCP server. You have to write exactly the same piece of code. In this PPT, I have given this code. You can copy paste this. Only thing that you need to change is this one, this particular link that has to be your MCP server link. So once we have that code, I will copy it. I will try to paste it inside my Claude. So I'll come here, I'll select it, I'll paste it, and this particular link, I have to replace this over here. It has to be your link. Once this is done, I will just save this. Once the configuration is saved, you go back to your Claude desktop app and then try to go to the location. You must see N8N here. You will not see because Claude is not yet refreshed. What you must do is you have to totally quit Claude. Now, once you close it, it is not total quitting. Total quitting is having two steps. You have to use on the taskbar. Still the Claude is live. You have to use quit. This is an important point you have to make a note of. You have to almost close Claude from two locations. One, the Claude desktop app, and then you go to your taskbar, and from there also you have to quit. Then only it is totally quit. After quitting it twice, then you click on Claude, you reopen Claude. I'm now reopening Claude. I have closed it from both the locations. Now I must see my connectors here. Right now I'm not able to see. MCP server disconnected for troubleshooting, guidance, etc., etc. Intentionally, I have shown this error to you. There is a particular thing that we have to make sure always. One mistake that a lot of people do is we have this MCP server that was created on our N8N. Now, if the server is inactive, you will get that error. There are two common errors that we get. One of them is if the server is inactive. I'll also show the other error if we get that. So inactive, and then you have to make it active. The link remains the same. We don't need to change the link, but what we need to do is we have to close this, and this closing is not sufficient. As I told you, you have to quit Claude completely. So on the taskbar, you have to quit Claude and then reopen it. Now we have kept that active. Now this time when we log in, we must see N8N here. N8N is here. When I click on it, there are no tools. Yes, we haven't added any tools. At least we can see N8N, and there is no error on the top right. There is no error popping out, which means that everything is working fine now on your MCP server. On your MCP server, you keep on adding all your tools that you would like to add. Then your Claude desktop will be able to access all those tools by using this. Now, the other error that you may see sometimes is this one, ENT, swap n npx or something like that. What I found is this error is occurring when you do not have the node.js installed. If you don't have it, most of you might not get this error. If you get this error, then you may want to install node.js, then everything works perfectly. Now, if everything has worked perfectly, what you must see on your Claude desktop is N8N popping here. Now, what I want to do is I want to go back here, and the MCP server that I want to create is the user should be able to send a Gmail, or the user should be able to read Gmail. The user should be able to book a calendar, check a calendar. Basically, I want to create a personal service AI agent. For creating that personal service AI agent, whatever tools that are required, we will add them in this MCP server here. And then we will talk to our Claude as if we are talking to our Zavis, that we will give the commands to Claude, and it should be able to connect to MCP server in the backend, do the task that it is trying to do using the MCP server. Indeed, MCP server connects it to tools. So what we will do is we will go back to MCP server, add all the relevant tools, add all the credentials in one go, and we can use it from any number of AI agents. So let me add one by one. I will first add my Gmail tool. in this Gmail, I want to send a message. Let us suppose I want to send a message from Claude. In Claude, I will say that you send an email to so and so person. Then it will connect to MCP server and it will use this particular account to send a mail. So Gmail account earlier we have already connected, that will be used, sent automatic, tool description set automatically. What this particular tool does, AI agent must know, that is set automatically. And then send operation, to whom it has to send, let AI decide this, because inside your prompt you will be mentioning whom should you be sending that email, and then subject, let AI decide it, no problem. Email type, message, what should be the message, let AI decide it. We don't want to give those parameters, and that is it. You set back to canvas, and then you have a MCP server and it has access to a tool for sending messages. From Claude you can send messages by using this MCP server. Let me add one more tool here. The second tool is reply to a message. Again it will be Gmail tool, and then I would say, instead of operation send, I have to say reply and then message ID, whatever is defined by the tool, and then I will go back. Remember earlier when you were creating AI agents inside N8N, we were putting all of them one by one. And if you are doing it somewhere else in some other workflow, you may not be able to use them. You have to copy paste them once again. But here we want to create a centralized server. Send a message, reply to a message. Maybe now I will add a couple of calendar events, Google Calendar event. Maybe one of them is creating an event from the list. So for calendar, you have to again create new credentials. What you need to do is you simply, if you do not have the calendar credentials, you simply need to log in. That's it. You create credentials, sign in with Google. There is nothing complex about it. So sign in with Google, and then whatever is your ID, you can actually leave it to let that decide by the model, but I found that it's sometimes facing issues. So what I will do is I will not use this one. I let me not decide by the model. You click the option of Google account and then fixed. You select fixed. It's anyway fixed from the list. If you select the calendars that are available, so you choose the calendar that is there. So you can say by ID, your ID, whatever is your ID, and then this is also fixed. So this one, let it decide by the model, let it decide by the model, start time, end time. Basically, this is creating an event. So the user from Claude will ask in their, whatever is the prompt, in their prompt, they will say that create a calendar event from this time to this time in this particular calendar. Use default reminders, that is fine. So we will go back. This is an event. This is a calendar creation event. If there's a confusion, let me do it once again. Just add calendar event, create an event, and then you log in by Google Calendar, and then you choose this one. You choose by ID. This is the calendar ID that we will be using. And this one, let it created by AI, let it created by the model. That is it. That is for creating an event. Or if you want to get an event, if you want to see the availability, you just say calendar tool, and then there's an option for the resource is calendar, and then we want to, the option is get the availability. So calendar and availability from the list, whatever is your ID that you must give, and then start time, let it decide by the model, end time, let it decide by the model. So if we want to check whether a particular calendar, in this calendar, in my calendar, am I available or not, whether I'm busy. If you want to update an event, so again, calendar, an existing event is there. I want to have a requirement of updating the event. So instead of create, I will select update the event, and then ID is this one. Event ID, let it decided by the model. I will just say by ID and then updating of event. Like that, you can create any number of tools, and the MCP server, LLM, they will decide which tool need to be done based on your requirement. If you want to send a mail, these tools will be used. If you want to update a calendar event, these tools will be used. If I want to add another tool, I will just say like this. If I want to get messages, let's say from Gmail, I want to get many messages by a particular user. Somebody has sent me a mail. I want to know what is that mail. In that case, I can say get many messages, return all, or let's say let that decided by my AI model. Let us suppose if I ask the question, how many messages Mr. Dev has sent me? So, or what is the summary of the last email that was sent by Rahul? Then this particular tool will be helpful. So once you have added all these tools, tidy up a bit. You can see if there's an issue, you must be checking that here itself. You will get a red kind of button, but right now almost all of them are working perfectly. We will go back to Claude and see these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools must be available on NI10, whatever tool that we have given there. And once I come back to Claude, I will click on it. I will see NI10, but none of the tools are available. That is common because we haven't really refreshed Claude. That means you will close it here. Again, when you are closing Claude, you have to close it from two places. You have to also go to taskbar and hit quit. So I'm doing that as well. On the taskbar, I'm trying to go and hit quit. And then I will come back and open the Claude. When I say on the taskbar, I'm closing hit, I mean to say, so here on your taskbar, you have this quit option, right? These are the apps that were opened in my system. You have to quit. Claude will be opening up here as well. That also you need to quit. After that, I will open my Claude freshly. I have quit it completely. Now I'm opening my Claude. Now I must be able to see all my 6 tools within an A10 agent. An A10 agent, if I keep it on, still I'm not able to see. Let me just quit it completely. Let's go back and see. Once again, this is on. I think I haven't hit save here, saving, and then again coming back to Claude and closing it. Good that we are getting these errors so that if at all you get them, you also know what needs to be done. So let's go back to our Claude. First, let me quit it completely. Now I'm opening Claude. Here you go. Now this time I expect it to show me NA10 as well as those 6 tools. NA10 is on. And then when I click them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools are there. Sending a mail, get many messages, get availability, etc. These 6 tools are now available. Now from my AI agent, which is Claude, I can do access all these tools via this MCP server. So how does that work? Let us suppose if I go back and ask a certain question. So the first thing that I want to do is send a mail to Venkat at the rate dvanalyticsmds.com. The mail subject, try to request him to send materials related to Gen AI and Agentic AI. This is the mail that I want to send to Venkat at the rate dvanalytics.com. Now, this Claude is a smart AI agent. It understands what it needs to be done. It understands what are the tools it has to use. I can particularly say that use N8 tools, but I'm not giving it. Let me see whether it has the available ability to decide that is the tool. Just let me click on this. You can see it's thinking. It will give, I will help you to send this. This is what happening in the back end. So it is asking me permission because this is a kind of action. It is not just the output that it is giving. It is an action. So I'm giving the permission always allow. So what it is saying, Claude cannot guarantee the security privacy practices. Third-party integrations like Gmail or Google Calendar. Do you want me to allow? Because if you take this action, your computer may break, you may get virus, your security might be compromised. Claude doesn't want to take any responsibility of that when they are doing this action. I will say allow always. I'll help you to send an email. So this is the email body, venkat@emailxmds.com is going to receive this email. I hope this mail finds you well. I'm writing this to request you this one, this one, this one. Your email has been successfully sent. Now let me go ahead and show you where is that email, whether I have received that email or not. When I go back and check my email, I have received it from our temporary account. Docs Venki is our temporary course account that I have created. From there, I have received an email just 0 minutes ago. Dear Venkat, I hope this mail finds you well. I'm writing this request to material related to generative AI and agentic AI you may have available. I'm particularly interested in research papers, white papers, etc., etc. That's given, and this email was sent by NI10. You can somehow remove it, but let it be like that. Not a big deal. So what we have done, we have created an MCP server. That MCP server we have connected to Claude. Claude is the host. MCP server takes the hit once the Claude sends a particular request. And Claude is an LLM. This LLM will decide what needs to be done based on the request. And based on my request, it has generated this whole email. It has asked MCP server for the right tool. MCP server has given the tool and it was able to send it. Now you may ask, what is the need of MCP server? I can also attach the Gmail tool directly in Claude also. Now that is fine. But if you have thousands and thousands of tools, and if you want to arrange them, if you want to create a standard protocol, and if you have multiple hundreds of agents, if they have to use all those tools in a very regular manner, then MCP server is a better idea. If you have only a couple of tools, yes, you don't need MCP server. I say that again. If you have only a couple of tools, your agent is pretty simple. You don't need an MCP server. Let us try to create a calendar related task. Let us suppose create a calendar event between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. today. The title of the event should be let's say meeting with Dave. Between 9 to 10, I want to create an event. The title of the event should be meeting with Dave. So I expect it to go to N8 and hit the MCP server and work as per my desired meeting block. I'll create a calendar event. Now it is asking for permission. I'll say allow always. Start is this, end is this, type is this, etc., etc., etc. Perfect. I have successfully created a calendar event meeting with Dave, 9 to 10 p.m. So let me go to my Google Calendar and check whether I was able to create that calendar event or not. I will go to my calendar and then you have this meeting with Dave. Is it from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.? So this is the meeting with Dave that we got created. Let me ask a different question to it. I will say, I will ask it to tell me what are all the different kinds of meetings that I have. What are all the meetings that I have? What all meetings, classes that I have this week? Check my calendar and give me a summary of all the events that are there on my calendar. So do I have any trainings or meetings this week? That is what I want to know. I will check. Yes, go ahead always. So this week it is trying to fetch the information. It is hitting my calendar, trying to fetch all this information. At the end, it tried something, but the tool execution has failed. Maybe after 2, 3 iterations, it could not fetch my events. That is natural with AI agents. Sometimes they are not able to reason out properly. Once they get into a loop, once they take the wrong path, they may not be able to come back again. Let me ask this question once again. Are there any classes or meetings scheduled for me in this week? Summarize my calendar. Once again, I'm asking if this works this time. Fine. Understand you would like a summary of the events, etc., etc., etc. Would you like me to help? Let me ask here particularly that use the N8N tools so that I will try to force it. I understand you would like to check your calendar classes. Now it is getting into and get availability of the calendar. Calendar check shows that now looks like we are getting good results. Scheduled this week. Calendar check shows that you have something scheduled this week and then etc. etc. You have meeting with Deb that is also just now created. That is also there. So it has gone and checked my calendar. It might have found there are events. Yes, there is one Gen AI crash course that is planned. That is also it is checking and it is trying to give us. It is not 100% perfect. By adding multiple tools, by giving the tool descriptions, we can make it perfect. But as of now, it is doing its job. It's not giving very erroneous results. It is able to check our details and then give the results here. We can also book a meeting. We can also check the calendar. Now, this is right now the host is Claude desktop app, which is an AI agent, which is hitting the MCP server. We can also host on N8N itself. Right now, you have your MCP server on N8N. N8N is the website, cloud on cloud. You have the MCP server. You can create a host. That means you're asking the questions from N8N itself. It need not be Claude. So Claude is an AI agent. In N8N also we can create AI agents. So what if I want to create a new workflow where I will host. I will use this AI agent as the host. I will create an AI agent here itself. From here, I will ask the questions. I don't really need Claude Desktop anymore because Claude Desktop is limited and I don't want to pay extra credits there if I have already one AI agent here. So let me show you how hosting also can be done from N8N itself. Now there is a AI agent that we have to create. In that AI agent, we have to somehow connect MCP client tool. There is one MCP client tool. In that, we have to give the MCP server link. We know the MCP server link. Now I will try to create the AI agent. So we will just add AI agent, add the AI agent, leave it as it is, add the chat model. The chat model is, let's say the chat model is Open AI chat model. We will leave it as it is. So let me tidy up. So once a user sends a message and then it will hit the AI agent and then AI agent will decide which tool to use, etc., etc. And then the tools are in MCP server. So how do you connect the tools which are there on MCP server to this AI agent, in the tools, you have to add MCP client tool. So let us see how it is done. So we will go to tools and then we will add this particular tool called MCP client tool. MCP client tool. Once you click on that, here you have to give that MCP SSE. It is deprecated, but HTTP is streamable. Okay, SSE, you keep it, no problem. So this is the way the data will be transferred between MCP and our AI agent. Endpoint, this is that server location that we have to give. So we will go back here and we will go to our previous workflow. Let me save this workflow. From the previous workflow, we have that MCP server workflow. In that, we have this production URL. Copy this, come back to our current workflow. Let me name this workflow as MCP N8N as the host. This is also part of Agentic AI series. So I will just click on this, and then this endpoint is the production URL that you have got it from there. And then we will go back, authentication done, etc. Now your host is ready. Now you can have a chat. You can create the chat. This will work just like the way that Claude Desktop has worked. So I am replacing Claude Desktop app. Now I'm connecting to my MCP server by using this one, which is N8N itself. N8N is the host. Earlier the host was Claude Desktop. Now once I save it, if I ask a question, so if I open the chat and I will ask the question, summarize the last email that I have received from Devendra dot Das, my friend. DV Analytics stands for Dev and Venkat. dvanalytics.com. I think DV Data Analytics was on our website. dataanalytics.com. What is the email that he has sent me the last time? Now AI agent is working MCP tool. And then once we go back to MCP tool, we may be seeing this type of structure also working there. And then MCP tool has given the answer to AI agent. It has used OpenAI to summarize it. So the last mail you received from Devendra was not explicitly found on the email received. Could you please confirm once? Okay, let me now. Looks like there is no email from this account because right now the email that I'm using is a temporary email. So let me go to that email and check which is the email that we can give, what particular email that we can get. So I will go to my Gmail. Temporary Gmail that we have created. And then let us see any meeting on Sunday. Can you please send me the materials related to Gen AI? So this is the email address. Let me ask everything just by changing this one. Summarize the email that I have received from this one. Summarize the last email that I have received from this account. So hitting the AI agent MCP tool is taking time to go through my emails and find out whether I have received any email from this account, sent it back to AI agent work. The last email from this account is meeting on Sunday. The email sender was Venkat Reddy Konasani to meet on Sunday for 3 p.m. for a quick discussion on generative AI ports delivery. So what I'm trying to show here is it's not only the Claude that you can use as host. There are multiple hosts. One of them is N8N. You can also use multiple host, Fiverr, Agent AI, Agent Flow. These are all the hosts. Any one of them can be host when they are connecting with MCP, which is like Model Context Protocol. You can connect to MCP server by using ChatGPT also. Maybe in our assignment, I would be asking you to use ChatGPT as the host. You can use any of these as the host for connecting to your MCP server. As of now, I have shown you two hosts. One is Claude Desktop. The other one is N8N itself. So in conclusion, what I'm trying to tell you is MCP is important when you are building very strong, versatile, comprehensive, most complex agentic AI systems. MCP is damn important. If you are creating smaller AI agents, most of the online tutorials are around small AI agents. There, MCP may not be needed, but for practice, you may want to create MCP. MCP is going to be the protocol that will help you to organize all your tools very effectively. But let me tell you one important information. MCP has been proposed by Anthropic Claude. So if everybody uses MCP, if everybody creates MCP servers, if every API kind of gives you access to create MCP servers, then only MCP will prosper. If nobody is using MCP, then only very few APIs are into MCPs, very few agents are using MCPs, then there is no need of MCP, or the whole concept of MCP will fail, because instead of using tools, you are using MCP, and that itself, if it is limited, then there is no way MCP can prosper. So we may have to wait and see if all the people are they going to adopt to MCP, or do you think maybe some other protocols may emerge which may be even more secured, even more simpler, even easier to set up than MCP? Then people may simply go back to those protocols as well. I still agree that sometimes it's better to simply use the REST APIs. There is no need to force MCP everywhere. But yes, MCP is for enterprise level type of applications. MCP really excels at tool integrations, while REST and WebSocket still be used for your CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete. If you want to do it very fast, then you don't want to add any other layer in between. If you want to do it quickly, still your REST APIs are much better. But you have to decide what kind of AI application, agentic AI system that you are building. Based on that, you have to choose. But the concept of MCP, you must know.
Continue with the next video in the playlist. We are covering everything step by step. If you have any questions or the comments, please post them in the comments window below.